Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the Arena Open. As you can see here, this is a high-stakes competition. If I get to 8 match wins before 2 match losses, I can win $2,500. There's $2,000 and $1,000 prizes. So this is a very high-stakes Neon Dynasty Best of 3 draft. Before I dive in, I want to remind you that if you enjoy this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more draft content, and comment below with your thoughts, questions, feedback, and if you just want to cheer me on. So let's see how we can do. I'm going to be adapting my strategy a little bit because it is so top heavy. I'm going to be trying to just take the cards that are going to give me the best chance to go like really high wins, even if it maybe leads to me having a higher likelihood of train wrecking, because the difference between 2 wins and like 8 wins is like so stark. It's like normally in a draft you can go 2-1 and be pretty happy, but here if I start off 2-1, it's like really not ideal. So you want to give yourself just like a chance of getting an absolute monster of a deck. Already we're starting off with a really tough situation, because Ryu Storm's Edge is a pretty powerful card, but I really don't want to end up in red-white. And I think it's kind of suboptimal to start with this because it just leads me down a dark road. Dark road indeed. I think the best card here is this Banishing Slash. I'm fine passing Ryu because it means that someone else is more likely to end up in red-white. Silencer's not the greatest. I think Banishing Slash is the best card in this pack by a decent margin. Voltage is okay. Fall is fine. Intercessor Rest is solid. But yeah, I don't want to just like, if this had been like a gold card in a different color combination, I might have taken it because again I was trying to like high roll, but I don't think that this is the path for me, taking a Ryu. Okay, I'm fine ending up in a white-green deck. Kappa Tech Wrecker is excellent. Spinning Wheel Kick is also pretty solid. The rare is missing, so we don't really get a big signal here. There is, yeah, it would go Kappa Tech Wrecker and then Spinning Wheel Kick here in this pack for me. After that, it gets significantly worse. But we're off to a fine start already. Let's see, what would be a notable card to wheel from this pack? Like if we wheeled one of these lands, that could be okay. I'm totally happy playing white-green. Tammy's Completion would maybe be a solid wheel. I don't think that's going to wheel. Burning the Moths might wheel. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm trying to just clock every pack. What do I think is going to get taken? This is going to get taken probably. That. These two. Okay. So there's not really a great green card. I mean, Greater Tanuki's fine. There's no good white card. Anvil can lead to some really good decks. There's also a Kami Flare and a Voltage Surge. There's also Modern Age. White Blue's fine. Green White Blue is fine. Black Red can be really good though. I don't really want to end up in white red or red green, so I don't really want to take the Kami's Flare here. Black Red's fine. This has been a really tough draft. Obviously not ideal. I don't have any like insanely powerful cards yet. I mean, these cards are all pretty good. I'm just going to keep taking these high upside picks. Because if I do end up in black red, this could be like the best card in my deck. Okay, let's hope for the best. Okay, Kumano faces Kakazan is one of the more devastating cards if I end up in a nice aggro shell. There's also Master's Rebuke. Hollow. Huh. Don't really think Moonsnare Specialist is on the same power level. And then Master's Rebuke is really good with the Tech Wrecker. This is tough. It's between the Kumano and the Master's Rebuke, I think, because I already have a Kappa Tech record and I already have the Oni Anvil, and I've been seeing a lot of red. And red-black is probably the best red deck. I'm going to take Kumano. Oh my gosh. Silver for Master? I mean, the only good card in the pack. I don't really want to take Searchlight Companion. I mean, this card's fine, but... Wow, 5 picks in. This has been really rough. This has been a really rough draft. I mean, it happens sometimes, but I was hoping not to have this happen during the Arena Open Day 2. I could take this. It's got some synergy with this, some synergy with this. But if I'm supposed to end up in blue-black, it's still early enough that I can find my way there. I think Kunai is the best card in this pack. I don't think any of these other cards are particularly great. Boon Visage can be pretty scary. Green hasn't seen the most open. Blue is looking decently open, but none of these cards are that good. Network Terminal is mediocre. I think Kunai is just a fine card. Oh, this is such a disaster. Blade Blesser, Clawing Torment, Geothermal Kami. Kami's the best card in the pack. I think if I end up in a good deck, Clawing Torment could be really good, because I could end up in an aggro-ish ninja deck and aggro-ish Blade Blesser deck. This is the best card in this pack by a lot, followed by the Emergence. Maybe we're finding our way back to black-red. It does play well with the Anvil. Kunai is also good in black-red. Let's see what wheels. This is tough, but I think we're going to pull through if we can find our way into black-red from here. Don't like Kami. This card's just not powerful. I mean, it's sometimes okay in a ninja deck, but really not where I want to be. Kunai is a fine pickup. I'm okay playing 2 of those. Okay. Wheeled Suit Up. I'm not going to take this Highlands because I'm not going to splash green in my red-black deck for like a Kappa Tech record. And there's still an outside chance that I open a Crazy Ninja card. I don't think Saiba's any good. Kami could be playable in a Ninja's deck as a one-of. This is just tough, but I think we know that we're not playing white. And I think we know that we're not playing green as well. So it's either black-red or blue-black, probably. Ashi's pretty good. Ashi's pretty solid. Fits into either of our decks. The reason Nashi is good is just because you just get a huge tempo swing the turn you play it. Because you'll usually get a decent amount of mana advantage out of it. Yeah. And there's also Long Reach of Night, which is a great card as well. Also in best of 3, you're less likely to have your life total significantly under pressure. There's a synthesizer, maybe that can wheel. So we found our way. I think we're going to play black. And now at this point, we're just finding our second color. Okay. So it's like we have these red cards. And then we have these blue cards. And then we have like some black cards. Here there's a network disruptor. And there's like a Tawashi Song Shaper as the best 2 cards in the pack. What seemed more open pack 1? I think it was kind of equal. I think in an equal situation, I'd rather have a blue-black deck. Okay, we get a Twisted Embrace. We're seeing some blue. Easy Twisted Embrace. Like we wheel this suit up. We have 1 enchantment, 2 enchantments. This Kami could be okay. It could be a fine card in our deck. Seeing some white cards there. Moonsnare Prototype and Iron Apprentice. Let's check our curve. Yeah, I think that the Kami of Terrible Secrets is just a very high upside card. Sometimes a card you can enable. I'm going to have a really good rest of this pack and a really good pack 3 to pull this one together. But I think we can get there now that we've kind of chosen a direction. I'm going to play the Haven over the Koi. This could be okay, actually. Might just need it for playable count. And it's a pretty solid card. Alright, situation. Blade Blesser's a rock solid 3-drop. This card will not possibly really ever make my deck. Swiftwater Cliffs. I'm not splashing any of these cards. There's a Clawing Torment. Creature count is decent. Clawing Torment actually fits pretty nicely into a lot of these decks. Iron Apprentice can be fine as well. Late Synthesizer. Or Thirst for Knowledge. I think I'm going to take Thirst. I guess I only have 4 blue cards. Yeah, I could just lean back towards red if I wheel the other Synthesizer. Doesn't happen. Because I do still have these red cards, so I could have gotten that Synthesizer, wheeled another Synthesizer. Wheeled Tawashi. Interesting. I guess I'm still technically towing the line between red and black. And blue and red. That's my second color. This is a tough situation. I have 3, 4, 5 red cards that are good, and 1, 2, 3, 4 blue cards that are good, so maybe red is where I'm supposed to end up. See if opening something good can steer us. It does not. I mean, we opened up Kami's Flare and Network Disruptor. Just gonna take Network Disruptor and hope. Again, I just think it's the better card for our chances of just having a really good deck. Our red-black deck is going to be medium, probably. I mean, I don't know. This is just tough. Tatsunari. We have 2 Clawing Torments, Twisted Embrace. There is another Oni called Anvil, and there's a Life of Toshiro. Wow. Tatsunari's really good, though. Beautiful. Twisted Embrace to follow it up. Maybe we can wheel that Ambusher. Kami is pretty solid. We have a lot of artifacts and a decent number of enchantments. I think it's better than the Octopus. Another Twisted Embrace over the Dockside Chef. Wouldn't mind Dockside Chef. Cheap enchantment for Tatsunari, but just going to keep taking these Twisted Embraces. I don't have any 2-drops. Kind of a bad situation there. Prosperous Thief I'm going to take. The card I can get in with my Network Disruptor. I'm going to take the Go Shintai over the 3rd Clawing Torment. It's a 2-drop that I can use to enable my ninjas attacking, and it's an enchantment, so kind of best of both worlds for me here. Papercraft Decoy is a gift. I already have 2 kunais, so I don't need that. So just being able to get a 2-drop is huge. So now I have 3 2-drops, which is much better. Oh my gosh, and I wheeled the Inkrise Infiltrator. Oh my gosh, that was huge. Holy heck, I didn't even remember there was an Inkrise Infiltrator that could wheel. That is huge. This pack really came together. My deck is actually pretty solid now. The exact card I needed. Suit up. Nice. Pursuit is fine. So now I have 4 2-drops and 2 1-drops. That's big. Enormous Energy Blade is just not a good card. This card can be a really good sideboard card. Or even main deckable. This can be a better sideboard card than either of those two, I think. Iron Apprentice is a fine card to play too. Oh my gosh. Wow, we got this 2-drop back. Huge. I just need 2-drops, and it also plays well with my evasive creatures. Wow. We did it. The deck came together. I have 5 ninjas. I got enough playables. That's huge. That is a huge finish. That draft started off so rough because we started off white card, green card, and neither of those colors was open. And then we just had to choose between blue-black and black-red, and I liked that we picked blue-black. Okay, let's just go through these cards. Essence Capture is not a card that really fits in my deck because I never hold up mana for anything. Oh, man. I don't regret not taking that Thirster Knowledge. I don't even know if it would be good in this deck. I have a couple counter spells for the sideboard. Short Circuit for the sideboard. Operative is not a really great card, I don't think. Crab for the sideboard if I need counter spells. Return to Action could be a fine combat trick. I don't think I really want it. Kaito's Pursuit is a card I could consider playing, as is the Kami. So I have 5 ninjas. And do I have any rogues? This is a ninja. Okay, let's see. Ninja. Rogue. I have 2 rogues, so I have 7 cards this can get back. What are my rogues? Wait, this is a ninja. Neat. Oh, that's a rogue. Okay. I have a really sweet deck here. I have the option. I could play this Iron Apprentice. Blade Blesser seems pretty good. This card seems fine as well. It's an enchantment for my synergy. And it's a nice card to pick up because it's evasive as a 2-drop because that's flying. So this is 43 cards. And these are all the cards I would consider main decking. Out of the pool I have. So I'm slightly heavier on black. Got 3 Twisted Embraces of these 2 Kamis. And this Sky Swimmer Koi. I'm not sure if I need the Koi. How many artifacts do I have? 7 artifacts. Let's move our suit ups here. I'm going to cut Kaito's Pursuit from the main deck. I think that's pretty safe to do. I need all my early drops, so I think I like all 6 of these. I could see cutting 1 Ninja's Kunai. And I could see cutting the Koi. I still have 7 artifacts. And I have this Kami. I do not have great mana sinks, I will say. Cut a Ninja's Kunai. What's my creature count at? 16. I can afford to cut Iron Apprentice, I think, because I either have 2 Network Disruptors, and it doesn't have evasion. And I have plenty of artifacts for stuff. Sky Swimmer Koi just is a pretty reasonably sized creature. And I have 5 artifacts. 4 mana 3/3 flyer also just gets the job done a lot of the time. Suit Up does play well with my Iron Apprentice. This Kami is just not a great card, I don't think. But I do have 20 ninjas and rogues. I have 5 ninjas and 2 rogues. So I have 7 cards I can get back with it. Which is like half of my creatures. But it's a 5-mana 3/3. It's between Iron Apprentice and Kunai, I think. Don't really want this Kami. With these counter spells, or this Futurist Operative or anything. I have good 4-drops already. I think adding another artifact also makes the Sky Swimmer Koi better. I think 17 lands is fine here. Because I do have a decent number of top-end cards. Like, I have 6 4-drops. So you don't really want to play fewer than 17 when you have 6 4-drops. How many enchantments do I have? 6 enchantments, 7 artifacts. So the Tatsunari kind of got there too. I don't want to cut any enchantments. This is really tough. Sorry for maybe not being the most engaging content here. Just a key last decision for my deck. I think I want the extra 1-drop just so I can maximize my odds of getting like a turn 2 Prosperous Thief into play. But it's really close. But yeah, I think I'm going to run it like this. Kunai can be a little bit clunky. So yeah, this is going to be the build for now. Maybe I'll end up changing the Iron Apprentice out, but this is what I'm going to start with. I'll see you folks in the matches. If you've been enjoying my content recently and want to help me make more of it, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. It is thanks to Patreon support that I've been able to post a video every single day for the past 30 or so days, and it is also thanks to patrons that I'm able to continue innovating and bringing you brand new things like draft guides, meta updates, and things of that nature. It really does give me the freedom to experiment and explore with my content and bring you the best possible product. If you are interested, you can find a link in the description down below, but the TLDR is that Patreon is a monthly pledge service where you can choose any amount to support my content for each month, and then in exchange you gain access to some pretty cool rewards like exclusive bonus content, draft with me, and being put in the credits and things of that nature, in addition to that warm fuzzy feeling of knowing that you are helping one of your favorite content creators continue to make videos that you enjoy and provide you with entertainment value. So that's how the Patreon works. It can be canceled at any time. You can modify your pledge at any time. It's really a very transparent process because I don't want to trick anybody involved at any step of the way. But yeah, that is going to do it for this little part of the segment. I hope you are enjoying the video so far, and let's get to the game. Welcome to round number 1. On the draw here, we have no creatures in our opening hand, but we do have 3 lands and some reasonable spells and a lot of creatures in our deck, so we are going to keep this. They're only going to play the Silver for Master just so we have a creature out. If they have a burn spell, they have a burn spell. They do not. That's good for us. I'm doing this just because I think I need a, I needed a fresh card there. This is the best play. Just kill their massive creature that they invested heavily into, even though they get 2/2 minutes out of it. Next turn I can play this, hold up this. Jeez Louise. They have a really odd deck. They're just going all in on every creature. This is not a good card. Dang it, I did not hit a land. So no attack. I'll take 4 from this, but they won't be able to hit me with the Ronin. Perfect, they're discarding it. That gives me some extra time to deal with this thing. Hoping they can't kill my... Jeez, they have a lot of menace. Oh, it only costs 1, right? Because the Silver Fur Master. This does have menace, so they could have like a weird combat trick combo out. But they'd have to have a kill spell and 2 combat tricks. Yes, got the win. Okay, well, they are playing a hyper aggro, random, put stuff onto your creature deck. Suit them up, take them down type style. Short Circuit could be good here. That's really the only card I care about right now, and the Kunai. Lowering my creature count against the Menace deck might seem odd, but I think that it's best, like, Short Circuit works really well against some of their enchantment stuff, because their enchantments give +2 power, and the Short Circuit gives -3. Also, the Sky Swimmer Koi is more of just like a, just so I have an extra threat that can punch through and help me avoid flooding, but I don't think I'm going to really worry about flooding against this deck, because I just have to make sure I have every hand on deck for the early turns. The removal spell was Flame Discharge. That was the only one we saw. And they have a lot of ways to modify their guy. Starting off with a win is really nice in this sort of tournament. Just makes it all feel more manageable. We had a weak opening hand last time, too. We didn't have any early drops. Well, we have to mulligan this. But we have a good, solid second hand. Keep it. Get rid of 1 Kami. Even though they would be great. We didn't have the lands. We could have also gotten rid of the Goshintai, but that's our enchantment to make the Kami work. Okay, so this can block the Iganjo. It's a free attack, so I'm not going to read too much into it. Just play this pre-combat. No need a ninja to it. So I don't have any graveyard synergies in my deck, so I'm going to mill them just so I can learn more about the contents of their deck. If we do go to game 3. Okay. They're getting a 2-for-1, I'm about to get a 2-for-1. Nice draw. This has reach. I'm going to be probably killing that and putting the +1/+1 onto my disruptor. Don't want to walk into a flame discharge. Okay. Nice. Sure. So if they tap out of red mana, it'll open up the door for my Twisted Embrace. Probably gonna put on the decoy now, because it makes it a 3/2, so it can trade with like any of those guys. And I'm gonna Twisted Embrace this sniper so I can keep attacking. Maybe I do want to put it on the disruptor just to make a better attacker. Now I'm putting on this so it's bigger than all their other stuff here. Not what I was hoping for. Sequencing. So I would go to 6. A lot of the time I might not play the Network Disruptor here, but now that I just have a big creature in play, just want to stay alive. I'm blocking with the Go Shintai as well, in case they have a way to give it trample. They could have 1 mana deal too. Perfect. Okay, so now I can afford to put my... Maybe I was supposed to just use Short Circuit. Okay. Can't activate its abilities. So if I attack with this guy and this guy, I kind of just want to attack with Network Disruptor. Suit it up to kill the moth. And then I have 2 blockers back. But if they don't block, I win. The last card is removal. I'm in trouble. That's a bummer. Dang it. Oh, gosh. I think that was my best shot at winning. Oh, well played. Unequipped. Dang it. Oh, man, that was brutal. That was brutal. Oh, I was inches from victory. If they had had a different card, like a creature or a land, I would have won that. Okay, game 3. Hoping for the best here. Oh, if I hadn't had a mulligan, I would have won that game. Because my 7-card hand, my second one, was pretty good. The second Kami would have gone a long way. Oh, it's tough. This is a tough one. Oh, man. I wonder how it would have gone if instead of taking the 6-drop, I had taken the 1/2. The fact that they killed my Nashi so easily was not great for me. So we'll play first. We will keep this hand. Oh my gosh, this could work out really well for us. We haven't seen a ton of stuff that kills Tatsunari. Fortunate. I would have totally twisted embraced that. Just so I get the toad immediately. Now they could flame discharge. Come on, land. Yes. Boom. This is a GG. There's no card they could have for 5 mana, I don't think. The sweeper costs 6. So I can give both of them flying. Those trade, they go down. I still have my 2/3/3s. I play my papercraft decoy. Boom! Got the victory. Huge winning of round 1. Big time victory. Big time win. I'm considering whether or not I want the kunai over the koi. I like the idea of the koi. I think it could be pretty good. Keeping this. If we can draw one of our 2-drops or one of our 1-drops, we could have a really good start here. Play this guy out. Okay. Another red-white deck, interesting. Cool it with the lands deck. Cool it with the lands. Oh no. Let's go. They can't cast that, hopefully. Nope, they can. Of course they can. No. I'm in trouble. I've drawn pretty much all lands here. And that's not going to win me the game. And they got a pretty good synergy going. Of course they hit another playable spell. No! Well, that's not good. Luckily, they can only hit me with one thing if they want to use that. They've had. I just have to top check them down the stretch here. That is a great top deck. Jeez Louise, that's a great top deck. Oh, they're sacrificing. Oh, the song. Wow, a buff spell was really bad for me there. Guidebot's really good here. They have a combat trick here, I think. I don't know exactly which one. Yeah, I figured it was that one. That's why I didn't really want to block with the Go Shintai, but I guess I should have blocked with, yeah. Yeah, we were just dead this game, I think. Oh. Nice. Right, they have 5 creatures and I have 4 blockers. Tough loss, as they say. They just kind of had it all in many ways. So unlike the last deck where I did side in the short circuit, in this deck I don't want the short circuit. If I can cast a Mirror Shell Crab, it's insane. And cut the Blade Blesser. I think I want the Kami. I can just see my guys trading off dying early and Kami getting me in a little bit of card advantage that I need to push me over the top. 3-3 also trades with a lot of stuff. Clawing Torment can be good. I'm glad I have the Kunai. I think I just need a main deck Kunai. There's a lot of stuff I want to be able to kill. Like that thing. I would have been fine with ninjaing it as well. They're going to have other one toughness guys, I'm pretty sure. Dang it. Gosh darn it. That's tough. Gosh darn it. We're in trouble again. Yes, the Kami. I knew it would come in clutch. I'm really hoping I draw Tatsunari, so I can play that immediately into Clawing Torment. They attack here. I have to do something, I think. I could always just Clawing Torment it next turn, but I'm in real trouble. So if I block here, if I double block, they'll zap that, eat that for free. I'm in real trouble. This thing does 3 to me, so... Can't even play something super expensive because this thing can zap me. I drew my the wrong rare, no. Yeah, their draw just lined up way better with mine than, yeah. I needed it to go a little bit differently for me to have a chance in this game. Dang it. I did my best. Just how it goes. I didn't have a creature early, so I had to use my suit up for nothing. They had the, like, Voltage Surge when they needed it. If I draw a Tatsunari now, I'm gonna be sad. Okay, yeah. Unfortunate. I mean, I did my best, but it's tough losing in the second round if you want to get to 6 or 7 wins. Oh man. This is also just the case where there's some drafts where no matter what you did, there's no way you could have possibly gotten a good enough deck to go 6-1. And even if I had started off knowing that Blue-Black Ninjas would have been open, I don't know if there was the quality of cards to get me there. I mean, I do have some good stuff, so I could still do it. Just tough losing in the second round. I have Tatsunari. I need to just draw Tatsunari a lot. And I need to draw my Nashi and stuff. Like, there's definitely good spots for it to work out. Just, I've had medium opening hands, and you need to run really well in these sorts of things. Well, I guess I had that one really good opening hand in the game 3 of the first round, so I'm not like that broken up about anything. I think Clawing Torment has enough synergy in my deck that it's pretty good. Like, works with Tatsunari and stuff. I think that's just best. I wanted to give them a chance to get multiple shrines in play or something weird to take me down when I'm super far ahead. I'm still going to draw a card at the cost of dealing them 2 damage this turn. I still want to make sure I have all the resources I need. Hit that second swamp to play Twisted Embrace, that sort of thing. This may look odd, but now they just have to deal with this network disruptor, which is really hard because it's got Ward 2 and it's a 4-3. They might just have to equip or something. Once I draw a swamp, I'll be able to really take over. Yeah, this should be a really easy matchup. I mean, just looking at the cards they have. Oh, they jumped. Neat. They have a lot of 1-toughness stuff, a lot of small stuff, and my pressure is actually good against this deck, unlike the aggro decks I've been against. I think I'm just going to run it back. Essence Capture could be good. I don't know enough about their deck, though. They could just be trying to be a low-to-the-ground deck. We saw Trainee. I mean, they are splashing, but we saw Trainee and stuff. Gain land to the rescue. Pretty good. Pretty good for me. Erect. Oh my gosh, they're so dead. I have had that was such a good opening hand for me against the Tribute to Hirobi. Tribute to Hirobi just gave me a free 1/1 to Jitsu with. Oh, rat tokens, thank good. Oh my gosh, they have a Jugan as well? That's insane. Made my own 4/3 menace. Wow. My deck ate Tribute to Hirobi for breakfast. That was insane. I've been siding in the kunai for the koi every game. And I think I'm actually just going to make the straight up swap for koi for kami. Because I actually, realizing Tatsunari's a rogue. That one game I drew it felt pretty nice. A lot of my key cards are the rogues and ninjas. So I think the kami's going to be okay. It's between that and another kunai. Bum 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 ba da da. 2-1. That was a dominant performance. That makes me feel confident in the deck. I didn't even really use my rares that much. I didn't have Nashi or anything. This is a tough hand. If I draw a swamp, I'm just going to play Nashi. Then I can connect with it thanks to the Clawing Torment. No. I can get it back with Kami. It's okay. Gone but not forgotten. Okay, I don't mind milling that because I do need to just hit lands. This card's been pretty abysmal. I need to draw a land this turn. And that's probably the game. It's just so unlucky. I mean, I did keep a 2-lander on the play. I need to cut the Iron Apprentice from my deck immediately. That card has just been just horrific every time I've drawn it. Kunai would be way better. Yeah, but now I don't have a creature to put my Dissident Braces on. If I had drawn a land, I could have killed that. Could have killed that. Just gonna shrink their creature so I don't take quite as much damage. I wanted to concede in response to this trigger, but it never gave me priority. That's just... I guess it's my fault for putting Iron Apprentice in my deck. This is a keepable hand. Let me get rid of the shrine. I could have the Biting Palm Ninja, which would be bad for me. Kind of all in on this network disruptor, not gonna lie. Okay, that's pretty nice. Just cost a single black mana. So I'm putting it on this because even if they do kill the if they put a blocker up for the Silver Master, though, now I still have the Network Disruptor, and they have to like play a creature to be able to trade with Silver Master. Guys, Menace. Okay, seeing that they have multiple 1 toughness guys is a confidence booster here. Counterspell was really good that game. Don't think Goshintai is doing me any favors. I have enough enchantments, I guess, now. I'm getting rid of the arm guard god because the paper craft decoy makes it more. It makes more sense for me to hold up my mana so that I can use my shit up or something. Why don't they have any green mana? Devastating. They have lethal, whatever it's called. Yep. Just don't have any lands. There's a land. Found the green source. Unlucky. This is tough. I'm gonna draw a card. Okay, Grove Archer. Sure. Can't play any 2-drops. And I can't play any 3-drops. E.g. Attack with this, they'll trade it with this. Attack with both of these, they'll trade it with this and this, and they'll get back that. Oh gosh. Do they have a ninja? No, they do not. So if I give this menace and then I attack with my guys, I can use my suit up. Four, 7, 10. They're gonna get back this Kami. Oh, that's a huge draw. Huge draw. They're taking a damage from that. I'm gonna play this. Get back Kami, maybe. Kami bounce Grove Archer next turn. I can play this Twisted Embrace because they haven't shown me a 4-drop. And then I can use this ability to give them both flying and they'll get drained. Man, I just realized that I'm like super competitive in this right now. I'm like, but like life will go on no matter what happens. But I really want to do well here. I think I'm very favored right now, or at least I'm favored based on the information I have. We're at a functional 8. And then a functional 7 because of this, and then these two things have flying, so I can kill their flyer. And I just have these two 3/4s that are beating down pretty hard. They are going to stop me from casting a lot of my spells here. I'm not going to block this because then they can bring it back and kill my toad. Are they dead on board? I think so. Okay, so here's the plan. Twisted Embrace, kill the Inkrise Infiltrator, give flying, attack all. That's 4, 7, 7, 8 from this +1/+1, 9 from the Nashi Drain, +3 from this because they can't avoid it. Got there. And then there's an extra one for this thing. Let's go. 3-1. I think it's 3-1 at least. Oh yeah, because we really crushed the person after we lost. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. And also the competition gets harder because the people you play against have better records, so better decks. This is going to be a challenge, but I'm always up for a challenge. I'm always up for a challenge. Challenge accepted. Okay. I forgot to make the tweaks to my deck that I was going to make between the rounds. That's foolish. I'm going to keep this hand. I was gonna cut the Iron Apprentice and the Scotiantai, I think. Or the Scotiantai may be fine. But I was definitely gonna cut Iron Apprentice, so hopefully that doesn't punish me. I just forgot about it. I should have made a note. That was a great draw. Not gonna be able to punish this quite as hard as I did last time. Which is unfortunate, because it would be nice to punish the tribute to Hirobi. Yeah, I still think the card's good because of situations like this where you just somewhat dumpster your opponent. When you have combat tricks in your hand, you don't really want to make weird trades like that. Trading this for those two would not be good for me right now. Also, I'm behind in the damage race, so trading damage is not necessarily appealing right there. Okay. This is a trade I'm happy making. Them giving their vehicles menace is not great for me. Can't block it, so I might as well go after him. I can't use both of these suit ups, so I'm going to use one of them to just cycle. Hit something up, hit a 5-drop. They always hit lands. It's brutal. Wow. Wrecked. Yep. Yep. Makes a play. Massive punish. Oh my gosh. I'm frustrated about that. If I had just sat still, I might have been able to pull it off. I don't know. It would have been tough. Would have been tough. I don't think I could have pulled it off down the stretch. They have a couple sagas, which makes essence capture a lot worse. Oh man. And this is how it ends. Not with whatever, but with the thunder of applause, as the Star Wars prequel says. Yep. Oh well. I guess getting invested in doing well in one of these tournaments, or feeling like doing well, would be really nice. It's just not necessarily a great recipe. Just gonna make me sad in the long run. Doing well in these is so tough. Just yeah. I'm only getting to 5 though. That's not nice. That didn't look like a 5 drop, but they're gonna hit a land. Oh, they didn't. Nice. Nope, they a spell they can cast instead. I think that would be kind of funny. They sacrifice their 1/1. There's all the lands I needed in my first 2 hands. Oh, actually, my first hand had 5 lands and 2 clunkers. And then my second hand had 1 land. My only hope is drawing Tatsunari, them not having removal. There's Tatsunari, but he's a turn late. Like, they have to have removal here. And I also just, I'm too far behind to win. GG. I mean, I think I can do. Shocker. Absolutely shocking. I'll save you the trouble, opponent. Oh well. That was just tough overall. the draft portion was like one of the crazier drafts I've had to do. I don't really care about the gems because, as you can see, I kind of have infinite gems, so I was just hoping to a good run. But you know, the draft was tough. The deck ended up being kind of tough to use. Had to mulligan a couple times in key spots where if I hadn't had to mulligan, I would have been able to win, I think. Just like thinking back to hands where I had to put back a card. Had a couple of nut draws. Also just got crushed a couple times. Flooded out a couple times. Didn't run really well enough to succeed in the tournament. 3 and 2 is fine, but obviously not what I was hoping for. Really tough draft, though. I should have not run this Iron Apprentice. Should have run this Kunai instead. And then I think the Go Shintai is fine, just because it gives me that 6th enchantment to go with my Kami and my Tatsunari, and also a Ninja Enabler. But I think being that being the first card to side out is nice, like siding this out for a Koi or a Capture, or maybe even a Crab if I needed interaction, or the Kaito's Pursuit. That sort of thing. But yeah, just a little bit rough. Not feeling super pleased, though. I think I played well and didn't make any like egregious misplays. Maybe if I had built the deck without the Iron Apprentice, it could have gone a little bit better. I just had a couple of situations where like I needed to draw a land, like that one game where if I'd been able to land that Twisted Embrace, I would have been in good shape. But I just missed my land, got it killed, got my 1/1 killed, and the game was over. Just stuff like that. I mean, a lot of it's out of your control. It's like rolling a dice or something on whether or not you can win a huge number of matches in this sort of situation. But yeah, I think the deck was solid. Tatsunari is really good. I needed to draw him a little bit more, I think. Nashi's fine, pretty solid. I never really got to do something really good with Nashi because I never really had a situation where I drew one of my evasive creatures plus Nashi and I had 4 mana, which is kind of sad to say, but I think I hit with Nashi once, even though I drew it a few times, just because the ideal spot never really came up. And yeah, if you did enjoy this video, remember to hit the thumbs up button. It does help the video succeed, helps the channel grow, and subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to get notified when I post future videos. You can comment below with your questions, thoughts, feedback, and if you made it all the way till the end of the video, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag what's a good hashtag for this one? I mean, we went 3 and 2, so, but I don't want to have it be 3-2 because that would spoil it for people who just scroll into the comments randomly. Yeah, I like to put a hashtag so people can let me know they made it all the way to the end of the video. Just leave hashtag solid finish to let me know you made it all the way to the end, because it was a solid finish. It just wasn't the greatest deck overall. Or hashtag Takunai or not Takunai. That's a much better one. Yeah, I like that hashtag better. Leave hashtag Takunai or not Takunai if you made it all the way to the end of the video. But yeah, it was a tough draft overall. Didn't get to like start with a clear lane. If I'd opened Tatsunari first, that would have been like huge. But I like bounced, bopped, and weaved. And yeah, that's going to do it for this video, though. If you do want to support my content, you can do so via Patreon, patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. It is a way that you can help me continue making videos and gain access to some cool rewards. In the description, you can also find the Discord server, my articles, the Twitter, the Twitch stream, all that stuff in the description down below. But that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.